What are the transportation systems?
Plants have two transportation systems of substances via two different types of transport tissue. First is xylem transport water and solutes from the roots to the leaf via transpiration process. Phloem transport food such as sugar and amino acids from the leaf to the rest of the plant parts via translocation process. What is vascular bundle?
Vascular bundle has two, which is a xylem vessel and phloem vessel. Xylem vessels are long, hollow, and continuous tubes that carry water and dissolved mineral from root up to all part of the plant. Contain a tough substances called lignin that lines the wall to provide transport. Phloem vessels are living cells with end tubes with pore. All cells content have disappeared except the cytoplasms. The phloem cells have companion cells near them. What is transpiration?
Transpiration is the process by which water evaporates from the leaf, which results in water being drawn up from the roots to upward, or is the loss of water vapor out of the leaf through stomata by diffusion. 90% of water absorbed by roots lost through transpiration. Can you give me the types of transpiration?
The type of transpiration is cuticular, lenticular, and stomatal. Cuticular transpirations, the loss of water in the form of water vapor through the cuticle. Upper epidermis of leaf secretes a thin layer of wax cuticle which minimize loss of water. Cuticle prevents evaporations of water from the leaf surface. Thicker the cuticle, lesser the transpirations. Lenticular transpirations, the loss of water in the form of water vapor through the lenticles presents in the woody stems and fruits. Lenticle is more opening in the developing in the older stem and fruits. Water from the cell surface evaporates and transpirations occur. Its amount of 1 until 5% the total of the water lost by the plants. Stomatal transpirations. Stomata are minute pore confined to epidermis of green shoot and leaf. Opening and closing of stomata are controlled by gut cell and depends in the turgidity of the gut cell. When the gut cell is turgid, the pores open and close when they are flaccid. When the turgidity increases, a gut cell bulge outward, widening the stomatal opening. Maximum loss 80 until 90% of the total water loss of water from the plant tissues take place through the stomatal opening.
What are the external factors affecting the transpiration?
There are 5 external factors which affect the transpirations, which is relatively humidity, temperature, type of plant, soil moisture availability, wind and water movement. What are the translocations?
Translocation is the movement of materials from leaf to other tissue throughout the plant, or the movement of food, sucrose and amino acid from the sources, which is leaf, to things developing flowers, fruit, storage organs, root through the phloem vessels. Plants produce carbohydrate, which is sugar, in their leaf by photosynthesis, but non-photosynthetic parts of the plant also require carbohydrate and other organic and non-organic material. The tissue in which nutrients move is the phloem. The phloem is arranged in long, continuous strands called vascular bundles and extend through the roots and stem and reach into the leaf as veins.
How translocations occur?
Inside a sleeve tube is phloem shape. This move driven by mass flow, so pressure difference needs to be created so that the plant has to use its own energy. This movement of sucrose decreases the water potential in the sap inside the sieve tube, which causes water to move into the sieve element by the process of osmosis. In the leaf, which is source, water moves into the sieve tube and moves out of it in the roots, which is sink, and a pressure difference is created. This pressure difference causes the liquid inside the tube to flow from the higher pressure area to the lower pressure area.
What are the factors affecting translocations?
First is temperature, second is inhibitors, third is potassium and boron deficiency, and fourth is hormones. Can you give me the definition of photosynthesis?
Okay. Photosynthesis is a process conducted by green plant in which energy is from sunlight is used to convert the carbon dioxide and water into organic molecules needed for growth. Light energy is absorbed by the green pigment chlorophyll found in the chloroplast. Light energy allows the productions of glucose by the reactions between carbon dioxide and water. Oxygen is also produced as a waste byproduct. These reactions can be summarized in the word below. Carbon dioxide plus water into glucose plus oxygen.
Why is photosynthesis important?
Photosynthesis provides food for all. This process of photosynthesis occurs in green plants in which are the primary producers in a food chain. Photosynthesis is essential for sustaining life. It is an ultimate source of oxygen and energy for all living organisms. Photosynthesis helps in growth and development of plants. It converts atmospheric
Why photosynthesis is important?
Photosynthesis provides food for all. The process of photosynthesis occurs in green plants, which are primary producers in the food chain. Photosynthesis is essential for sustaining life. It is the ultimate source of oxygen and energy for all living organisms. Photosynthesis helps in growth and development of the plant. Photosynthesis overview. Photosynthesis takes place in chloroplasts. Chloroplasts are located mainly in the mesophyll cell. Each mesophyll can has photosynthesis overview. Photosynthesis takes place in chloroplasts. Chloroplasts are located mainly in the mesophyll cell. Each mesophyll cell has 20 until 100 chloroplasts.
What are chloroplasts?
Chloroplasts are the sites of photosynthesis in plant. Contain a green pigment called chlorophyll that absorbs the energy from the sunlight. There are two kinds of green chlorophyll, that is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Chlorophyll A absorbs red and blue light and it is the primary pigment in plant. Chlorophyll B absorbs only blue light and transmitted green light, thus the leaf look green. This energy is used to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose and oxygen. Chlorophyll is embedded in these light structures called thylakoid, which are arranged into a stack. Thylakoid membranes, internal membranes arranged in flattened sac. Grana, stacked in a thylakoid membrane. Stoma, semi-liquid substances surrounding thylakoid membrane.
What are the two main parts?
The two main parts is light-dependent reactions. The energy fixing reactions. These reactions happen when the light energy from sunlight is captured and pushed into a chemical energy called ATP, reduce NADP to NADPH. Light-dependent reactions, dark reactions, or Kelvin cycle. The carbon-fixing reactions use ATP and NADPH to synthesize organic molecules from carbon dioxide. Light reactions. Light is absorbed by chlorophyll. Energy from the light splits H2O. Hydrogens from water reduce NADP, electron acceptor to NADPH. Chemiosmosis make ATP from ADP. Light reactions. Light is absorbed by chlorophyll. Energy from the light split water. Hydrogens from water reduce NADP, electrons acceptor to NADPH. Chemiosmosis make ATP from ADP. Product of the light reactions. Energy equal to ATP and ADP and ADPH, which is the Kelvin cycle. Kelvin cycle, also known as dark reactions, light independent reactions. Carbon dioxide from atmosphere enters chloroplast and is incorporated into organic molecules, which is carbon fixations. NADPH from light reactions reduce the fixed carbon by donating hydrogens to carbohydrate. ATP from light reactions is required for this step. Byproduct is glucose.
What are the factors affecting the rate of photosynthesis?
There are 5 factors that affecting the rate of photosynthesis. That is light, temperature, carbon dioxide concentrations, oxygen concentrations, and chlorophyll concentrations. What is cellular respirations?
Cellular respiration is a set of metabolic reactions and processes that take place in the cell of living organisms to convert biochemical energy from nutrients into endocyne transphosphate, which is ATP, and then release waste products, carbon dioxide, that they require for cell division and development, or the biochemical pathway by which cells release energy from the chemical bonds of food molecules and provide that energy for the essential processes of life. Or respiration is the process of releasing energy from the breakdown of glucose. It can be aerobic respiration, presence of oxygen, or anaerobic respiration without oxygen. Respiration occurs in mitochondria. Cellular respiration overview. Transformation of chemical energy in food into chemical energy, which is ATP cells that can be used. The major step in respiration is first, glycolysis. Second is citric acid cycle, which is Krebs cycle, and third is electron transport, oxidative phosphorylation.
What is glycolysis?
Glycolysis is the first step in the breakdown of glucose to extract energy for cellular metabolism. First phase is glucose is split using ATP into 2G3P. Second phase is G3P is then converted to pyruvate, formation of ATP and NADH.
What is aerobic cellular respirations?
Aerobic means oxygen required. Two more sets of reaction which occur in mitochondria is first, Krebs cycle occur in mitochondrial matrix. Second is electron transport chain occur in mitochondrial membranes, which is cristae. And the NADH and FADH2 formed in the Krebs cycle enter the electron transport chain system. Electron was transferred from NADH and FADH2 to reduce oxygen to water and generate ATP. the net gain of ATP. Complete oxidation of glucose to carbon dioxide and water shows that there is a net gain of 38 ATP. Each NADH plus hydrogen produces 3 ATP molecules. FADH2 forms only 2 ATP molecules.
What is anaerobic cellular respiration?
Anaerobic cellular respiration, it is also known as fermentation. In anaerobic respiration, glucose is still broken down to carbon dioxide with the release of energy, but without the involvement of oxygen. The end products are ethanol and carbon dioxide or lactic acid, which is muscle cell. Anaerobic respiration is widely used by many microorganisms such as bacteria, and yeast also take place in plants in the presence of little or no oxygen. The energy released by anaerobic respiration is considerable less than the energy from anaerobic respiration.
What is fermentation?
Fermentation is glucose is not completely break down to carbon dioxide and water because lack of oxygen, but glucose was break down to ethanol and carbon dioxide or lactic acid. Two types of fermentation is first alcoholic fermentation, second is lactic acid fermentation. Going from pyruvate to ethanol is a two-step process.
What is the factors affecting the respirations?
There are two, which is external and internal. External is temperature, oxygen, water, light, and carbon dioxide. Internal factors, first is food material, second is age of cell, third is enzymes, and fourth is inorganic salts.